Hello, and welcome to today's episode of Pearls and Politics Podcast, where we are polished and poised for greatness and impact. My name is Kahala, and I'm your host. Today, we are going right back into Black business, Black woman-owned business, because we love and support all things Black-owned business here at Pearls and Politics Podcast. And we have an entrepreneurial icon, my classmate and my friend, Tawanda Story.
Hello.
Hey, classmate.
Hello, classmate.
How are you?
I am well. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, thank you for coming. Months ago, I was like, I have got to have my classmate on here. She's out here doing big things, and you're doing even more big things than you were when I asked you months ago. So I'm so happy to have you here. My podcast producer, Chris, was like, this woman is amazing. You absolutely need to get her on here.
Thank you.
And we just want to continue our support and our promotion of business and Black business and Black women.
Yes, definitely.
So tell us all about you.
About me. I'm Tawanda. I am a nurse. I'm a mother. I'm a nursing home administrator. I'm an advocate for seniors, and I think everybody knows that. I'm a daughter. I'm a sister. And I'm a people person.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Absolutely. Well, we all know, as you stated, that you are an advocate for the elderly.
Yes.
And I think that is so just wonderful. Like, the heart that you have for the aging population is, I think it's unmatched. Like, I've never known anybody else personally that has that type of love for the elderly. And like you said, you're a daughter. You so lovingly shared with your Facebook followers and your social media community your journey with your dad.
Yes.
And I know how that can be, because I was a daddy's
girl. Yes, you were.
Girl. And just all the things that you were doing. So tell us, why did you decide to go into business? Because you're a successful nurse. So let's be clear about that. Yeah. So a lot of people would just be like, oh, well, I'm going to just do my nursing thing. But you said, and it has just turned into so many businesses. So why did you say, I'm going into business?
I think being a nurse is great. It's wonderful. I love the profession. But also in that profession, you see a lot of what you don't want to see. You see a lot of things that are so different in ethnically and morally different than what you know and you believe in your heart. And so you go in and you're clocking into someone else's job and you're like, if not in my company, not my business, or this is how I would not do things. So it's great to have a profession, but it's also great to utilize that and say, when I start my business or when I open my business or whatever I'm going to do, I know that this is not the way that I want things to be ran.
So you were the change. You became the change that you wanted to see.
Absolutely.
And I know that's cliche-ish, but it's really important.
It is.
We have to be, if you want change, then you need to be that change.
Absolutely.
It needs to start with you, because if it doesn't start with you, then where does it start?
Absolutely. It starts with us.
Exactly. So you said, not on my watch, and not on your watch turned into several niches. So please walk us through all the things that you're doing.
So Elderly Care Concepts is the parent company for the Faith House. If you follow me on any of the platforms, you know that I love my seniors. They are my babies. And it's a privilege. I mean, it's an honor to be able to care for the elderly, the wisdom, the laughter, the joy. If you haven't been in their presence, you don't know what you're missing. So Elderly Care Concepts is that opportunity for me to be that consultant for families who are like, I never saw this stroke coming, or I never thought my mom would fall. What do we do now? A lot of calls are coming from the ER. Hey, we're here. What do we do from here? So Elderly Care Concepts allows me to build other programs. And from Elderly Care Concepts came the Faith House. And the Faith House has been my new baby for the last year. November, we hit 1 year, and it's been a blessing to be able to provide respite care services for seniors and for their families in the community. And then we have charcuterie concierge, totally different niche.
Yes, and we love it here. Okay.
Totally different niche, but I'm a believer of all things creative. I've always, I wrote a book years ago, Show Up Empty. God has given us all so many creative ideas and talents. And if you're utilizing them to the extent in which He intended, I don't think you'll lack for anything. And so Charcuterie Concierge has been yet another avenue for me to be creative and to be on that entrepreneurial journey that I so love.
Yes. So how do we reach you? Like, if I have an elderly family member, or what, just so our listening and viewing audience is clear, so we can call from the ER because of a fall, what is the service, and how can we reach you in order to receive that service?
Absolutely. So it's twofold. There's a consulting side, which is the elderly care concept side. Under the consulting side or geriatric concierge services, if you will. So I feel that our seniors are our most precious commodity, and we should be treating them as such. And so when the time permits and something happens out of, we weren't expecting this, who do you reach out to and say, my home is not equipped for a hospital bed. We don't have a ramp. How are we going to make this happen and the hospital's ready for discharge? What do we do? Who do we call? That's when elderly care concepts comes in. Or if you're in DC and mom is here in East St. Louis and she has to be hospitalized and you have no support, no boots on the ground, who do you call to say, who can get to the hospital and talk to these physicians on behalf of my mother? That's when you call the elderly care concepts.
What? Okay. What a God idea.
Yes.
Because who would think, let me set up a business with integrity and with care. So when someone in DC has an elderly family member and there's no one here, there's a point of contact, and you can provide, whether it's a personal resource or your network, to say, okay, we need to get to Memorial Hospital on the, 5th floor. This person needs someone to come and advocate or hold their hand or give their family member some peace because I got to catch a flight. Who thinks of that other than you?
I can't take credit, because I think I said this in a post a couple of weeks ago, that God puts you in a place. And for 20 years, I've been in geriatric nursing, and I've been in and out of nursing homes. I've managed nursing homes, and I thought I was there for the long ride. I thought that I was supposed to retire.
Yes.
No, the goal was to put me there to learn the rules of the road, to learn the policies, the procedures, and take that and then manifest it over here. That was the ultimate goal. And it just clicked that you're not there for that. I have you here for another purpose. And so all of those experiences, good and bad, gave me the opportunity to say, this is what our seniors need, and this is what our families are lacking in the area of support, our caregivers. This is what they're lacking. And so how great it would be to be able to pick up the phone in the middle of your distress and send out that signal and take that sigh of relief that somebody's at the bedside with your mother, holding her hand, advocating for her, or getting her home from a 7-day hospital stay and the refrigerator's stocked and the house is clean. How? Nothing but God.
Nothing but God. Let me tell you, y'all not going to keep coming over here almost bringing me to tears with these Holy Spirit drops with this fresh oil, because just to hear the stories of when the Lord tells a Yashika, hey, put it in a jar. I see you. Put it in a jar.
That's right.
To tell you, hey, my elderly, they're not always being taken care of the way that I need my precious elderly to be taken care of. This is what you're going to do. And just to be able to say that you're doing it to care for someone, it's amazing. So I am being blessed, and I'm learning so much from all of you. And what did we talk about when we were off camera a little while ago? Trust in the process.
Yes.
So I am a product of a process as well, multiple processes. Yes. We all are. So it connects with my spirit when you say, No, I was here for a season to glean and to learn all of this information so he could put me somewhere else. And that is us sitting right here.
That's right.
I mean, life and the pearls of wisdom, and then the political side. Had he never placed me in a space and a place for 10 years to understand the process, to understand the electoral process, to understand, what did you say, the shortfalls and the areas that need our attention, not only just as a community in general, but particularly communities of color. And then so much stuff that he put into me to be at my full-time job that I'm in now, so much of what I gathered. And so, again, we have to trust the process. And it's hard, right? And we cry and we get upset and we're like, why, Lord, and why us?
Kicking and screaming. Yes.
We got the valleys, but of course we have the mountaintop.
That's right. That's
as
right.
Well, because what did you say? Even in your former season, the stories, the wisdom, the love from, the elderly. There were so many things that you gained positively from that. But, that the crushing that we talked about, that crushing brings about that oil. And so again, y'all not going to keep bringing me out here and just inspiring me. Like, I watch you closely on social media. We talked about being a stalker with the gentleman that was here. But I follow you because I'm like, what is she doing now? Like, what? Oh my God, that is a wonderful idea. Oh, I need to share that and share it and share it and share it. And because just to watch and we use the word hustle, but your hustle, it's like second to none. And it is so inspiring. It makes other women, other Black women, other business owners, it makes us want to give the same level of, ideas and just opportunities.
Sure.
And just to start connecting.
Yes.
To start connecting, because there's so much that we can do, so much more that we can do together. So much.
That is so true. Absolutely.
Absolutely. So now, we have a complete understanding of your elderly care. And of course, it's just common sense that charcuterie is just, so you just, one day you were like, this is what I'm going to do.
I've always been the friend that wants to host. I want to host the parties. I want to host the dinners, or I want to make this out of that. Yes. But there's a creativity, a God-given creativity that I love. If I said to you before, if I'm not being creative, I'm bored. So utilizing those gifts and those talents once again. And so I started making a few boxes just for close friends, families. And it grew from a box to a board to a table to an 8-foot table. And it has just taken off.
Honey, she has a graze. I don't know if I didn't know what a graze was until, but that's where, the person puts out the parchment paper or whatever, and they just do a whole table of goodness and mercy, and it follows you all the days of your life. And so so when the sisters-in-law got together, you were the first person I called because, again, we want to support each other.
Of course.
In all that we do. And so I said, and it was a surprise, like they didn't even know it. And so I was like, girl, those cones, I need like 10 of those cones. And when I popped the presentation, let's talk about Black excellence for a moment, because you're looking at it. The presentation. I mean, the cones were perfect. The toothpicks were perfect. It was just amazing. And when I opened the box, the ladies were like, and now, and we're not easily impressed. I mean, not at this stage of our lives and whatever. Is okay.
Yeah.
When I tell you, they were like, we was a bunch of high school girls. We was like back in Lincoln. Oh my goodness, it was so good.
Thank you. I'm so glad.
I had extras, and I took them home to the little people, and the little people love them. So no matter what age or where you at in life, okay, you gonna love the charcuterie concierge.
That's right. Absolutely. We are here to serve all types of organizations. We've been blessed to cater for business showers, bridal showers, baby showers, corporate meetings, church
sororities and fraternities.
So It's been a blessing, and it's a great way to connect. The holidays, it was a blessing during the holidays. A lot of people are like, look, I'm doing enough cooking. Can you just set this up for the family before the meal? So it's truly been a blessing, and that's something that I'm grateful for. But that creativity and allowing the juices to flow, I love it.
Yes. And speaking of fraternities and sororities, we skipped over that because we got so excited. I got so excited talking about it. Are you a member of a Greek letter organization?
Oh, absolutely. Sigma Gamma Rho Incorporated. Absolutely.
Absolutely. So I believe, Chris, I believe that you are our first pretty poodle. Like, we've had AKAs and Delta.
The first pretty poodle.
We even had we've had that because that's what a lot of people don't. Let me make it clear once again that Pros in Politics podcast is for all women.
Yes.
Whether you're an AK, a Delta, a Zeta, a SG Rho, and for all the Divine Nine, including our gentlemen, and for the individuals that are not.
That's right.
Greek letter organization. So I don't ever want folks to get it twisted. I know my brand, and it is what it is because we all know I'm a proud alpha woman.
Represents.
But we love everybody here. And I am so happy to say that now we are officially, we got all the sororities covered now. So I don't know where we going to get an iota from, but we are covered at this point.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
So we've talked about your businesses. Please tell us, how do we reach you?
You can always reach me at 314-669-5389, and that gets you to all of the businesses. If you're looking for elderly care concepts, elderlycareconcepts.com is the website. And if you're looking for a nice charcuterie board, box, or spread, the charcuterieconcierge.com. So all of the platforms, social media, you can find us on all of those. I would love if you would follow us on TikTok. Elderly Care Concepts just hit 10,000 this week. Our followers, we are now at 10,000 followers. So I'm excited because that platform we use to educate, and we talk about the senior healthcare disparities, and we give tips to caregivers. So I'm super excited about the growth on TikTok.
Well, I am going to, as soon as we are finished today, I will be getting with you to follow you on all your platforms because I thought I had them all covered. And
we are worldwide.
We cover our guests. So we follow and we return the follow.
Yes.
Because that's how we all grow.
Absolutely.
So that is awesome that you have blown up on TikTok and we receive the continued breath of the Lord on all of your businesses. So that's how we reach you. So you are very busy.
Yes.
And I know baby girl is a big baby girl at this point. She's grown. She's doing her RN thing and living her best life. But still, you are extremely busy. So we believe in self-care here at Pros in Politics podcast. So we often ask moms, business owners, everybody, how are you managing self-care with the life that you live, right? And how would you encourage everyone? And as a healthcare professional,
absolutely,
you see the worst of when self-care goes completely out the window. So what would you tell us as women? And we got some fellas too. How would you encourage us with that whole self-care piece?
So I guess the first thing I have to do is to say that, a lot of people say nurses are the worst patients. And I'm going to validate that statement. We are. But I would say to everybody that you have to listen to your body. And as a nurse, I have to listen to my body. And so I've grown fond of my self-care moments. And they may be something as small as this year I learned that my phone had a do not disturb. Did you know that?
I don't use it.
I shut the world out. I didn't know I had the ability to do that. And I started taking naps, like full-blown naps at 45. Yes, you should try that.
I'm going to have to try that.
But being able to, sometimes people think you need to travel to, Hawaii and Dubai. And for me, sometimes it's a nail appointment, a hair appointment, a nice bottle of wine, a hot bath, and shutting the world out. But you have to know what your stressors are. You have to know how to identify those. And once you do take that time, whether it's a massage or, whatever those appointments are, and keep them. We'll make appointments and then we start canceling them because the kids need this, or we got to go be, this person, this for that person. And so self-care, you can't run a business effectively. You can't work a job effectively if you're not caring for yourself. So I wholeheartedly have jumped on the self-care bandwagon, and I am practicing that thing. You hear me? It's getting good too. I'm loving it.
I love that. I really need to do better. So Tyler Roy has been on, and we were just texting just the other day, and she was asking me how I was doing, and I was like, sis, I'm tired. I'm like, say a prayer for me because your girl is tired. And she said, how many times do I have to keep telling you, you cannot pour from an empty vessel?
That's right.
I need you to do better. And I really need to do better. And I've started doing better.
Good.
And I'm in 2023, I'm going to continue to work towards that. And I am completely with you, whether it is a delightful cookie
Yes.
from our amazing, delicious delights by uniquely designed. I need to do better with the sugar.
Yes, but start small.
But start small. That bottle of wine that you just talked about, like that is completely me. That hair appointment, I have to, at this point, I have to, keep the hair appointment. Right. It's necessary even for work at this point.
That's right.
But just being able to unplug, I think, is that final piece that I need. My youngest is 4. So it's hard. And she's a mama's girl. She knows that it's always up under you. Because I'd be like, Katie Pooh saying she got a whole following on Facebook, okay? But I think, and the older she gets, all of my children, as you know,
Right.
The older they get, the more independent they become.
That's right.
You get, like now, I can actually clean the house. Whereas with her, I was like, when she was a baby, I couldn't get the house. Now my house stays clean consistently.
That's right.
Because she'll run off with her, she loves her brothers. She'll run off with her brothers or whatever. But that being able to unplug, I think that as my children continue to grow older and stronger and more independent, that I will be able to unplug more. But I do. And I'm starting roller skating with my line sisters. Like, I feel like that's going to be self-care because I'm a lead them kids.
That's right.
And I'm going to put them sparkly skates on, and that's exercise. It's just so many things. So I'm really trying in 2023 because I did go through a season where you said, your body keeps score.
It will tell you, and it will shut down. Absolutely.
Yes. And so I was starting to have some GI issues. And never in my life, pregnant with 3 kids, big old baby, never had GI issues. And I said, you know what? if I'm trying to be here for them,
That's right.
I really need to do better.
That's right.
So I think I'm going to use you again as inspiration and an example.
Because you have to detach. And like I said, it can be something small, but learning to detach and taking those moments is so important. So important.
Well, you are an inspiration.
Thank you.
And Lincoln Senior High School class of 1995 stand up.
Absolutely.
The best to do it. I don't care. Supposed to be like, oh, class of 85. No.
No, it's definitely 95.
Class of
Absolutely.
95.
Absolutely.
Stand up. And Lincoln, we love Eastside here at Pros and Politics Podcast. They know we put on for our city, okay?
That's right. That's right.
Never. Lincoln Senior High School, the best to ever do it, particularly in the class of 1995.
Absolutely. 1995.
Absolutely. Well, you continue to inspire.
Thank you.
And you continue to be a blessing. We will continue to support you. I want everybody to go to all of her social media platforms. If you are looking for a beautiful charcuterie spread at any size, from cones to grazes, she's your person. And if you need a concierge for your elderly family member or friend or neighbor, this is the woman to call, and she will get you all the way together.
Absolutely.
And I'm just thankful that you came.
Thank you.
You immediately was like, oh, of course.
Yes, this is a wonderful platform, and we need this. And so the opportunity to share, I love it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Will you come back?
Oh, absolutely.
We're going to do a whole segment on the elderly.
Yes.
And caring for that population. My grandmother is she is 95.
That's a blessing.
And her Alzheimer's is in its advanced stages. And so my mother at 75 and her siblings trying to care for her in a nursing, it's just a lot.
It is.
And so that has shown me personally why you feel the way that you feel and all the work that you put in, because it can be a lot. And so we're going to ask you to come back, and all of that growth you getting on TikTok, informing the world about that population, we're going to bring it here to Present Politics Podcast.
I would love to. Thank you so much. I would love to return and share just like the journey you're going through. That's what the Faith House is there for. The Faith House is located in Ferguson, Missouri. I didn't tell you that. But we provide respite care for those families that need a break. And so whether they're traveling or if they just need, hey, I'm tired, I need a break, and it's just me. That's what the Faith House is all about. So yes, let's do it.
And I love that name, the Faith House. Yes, Lord.
Yes.
Well, thank you for coming.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
And thank you for tuning in today to Pros in Politics Podcast, where we are polished and poised for greatness and impact. Thank you so much for joining us today. We hope you'll join us again next week. But in the meantime, please like, love, share, and subscribe. And we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.